In a quest to address the leadership challenge in Nigeria, more groups are mounting pressure on the Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele to join the presidential race in 2023. A coalition of civil society groups, the Green Alliance movement, wants the CBN governor to run for the top seat so as to fill what it calls the leadership vacuum in the country. At an event in Abuja, the group says Nigeria needs a candidate who can steer the economy in the right direction. Well, it asks Nigerians to vote in technocrats who can make the difference and rescue Nigeria from its economic challenges.
We have identified him. So, all these ones they say we are persuading, he must run. He must run. Because we don't want anybody to come and rubbish all that this present government has achieved. We want consolidation. So, Dr. Godwin Emefiele must run. And please, all the members of the Green Alliance here, in our private conversation, in our public declarations, in our Facebook pages, in our Instagram pages, in our Snapchat, everywhere, all social media, Twitter, let us keep telling him that he must run.
Well, that's Wale Fapohunda there. He will be joining us very soon. Another group from the north is adding its voice to the call for the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, to join the presidential race. United Nigeria Northern Nigeria Youth Forum says the call has become necessary for fairness and balance amongst Nigeria's major ethnic nationalities. The group said since they returned to the current democratic dispensation in 1999, two of Nigeria's major ethnic groups have led the country, leaving out the Igbo ethnic group.
We, the Northerners, see Dr. Godwin Emefiele as our own because during his days at the Zenith Bank, his personal assistant was a Northerner, and so were many of his aides. Nothing has changed. He still has a Northerner as his PA, even as the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Indeed, this is unity in diversity. A Southerner carrying a Northerner along. If such an individual is elected as the president of this country, a lot of our ethnic problems will be gone. Because Dr. Emefiele is a detribalized Nigerian, having one thing in mind, the interest of Nigeria as a country superseding the personal interest of any individual, no matter his religious, ethnic, and political placements.
All right, that right there was Aliyu Mohammed. He's the spokesperson for the Northern Nigerian Youth Forum. Well, to discuss the leadership challenge as well as the struggle to find the next president, we're now being joined by Wale Fapohunda. He's the convener of the Green Alliance movement. Wale, thank you so much for being here tonight in the studio.
Thank you very much.
And of course, let's talk about the fact that, Godwin Emefiele, who is the person you're actually conversing, should be the next president. He was appointed by the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, got reappointed back in 2019 for a 5-year tenure, which is supposed to expire in 2024. Why do you think he is the best candidate to actually lead Nigeria at this time?
Okay, thank you very much. I mean, thankfully enough, you actually mentioned his coming into the CBN as the CBN governor. So if you look at it, it was appointed by PDP-led administration in 2014. And then when this government came in, ordinarily everybody would expect that they were going to show him the way to the door. And then, but they left him there. That tells us something about his capacity to run the particular institution that he's running now. And even after the expiration of the first 5 years, it was also renewed. So both parties, APC and PDP-led government, must have seen something special in this individual. So that is on the one hand. Then on the other hand, if you look at his lives, his achievements, both as a private banker and as the governor of the Apex Bank, you could see that in terms of administrative and managerial acumen, in terms of putting policies together, monetary policies, it can only be a success story in terms of what we have achieved. As a group managing director and CEO of Zenith Bank, for the first time in Nigeria in 2012, the bank achieved about 100 billion naira profit after tax. There was no bank at the point that has achieved that, and this can be attributed to to his efforts as a group managing director of Zenith Bank. And then it came to the Central Bank of Nigeria. It's come up with various programs, to foster his role in formulating monetary policies and also the regulatory rules of various commercial banks. And so we think that we need to get the technocrats. We need to move away from the conventional politicians. We need to get someone that knows how to manage the economy. And then when this is done, it will also spread to all other aspects of our national lives, such as security and all of those other things. But we need to get this thing right. Well,
some opponents or some Nigerians will argue that, yes, I mean, beautiful credentials as a technocrat, as a, managers of the nation economy and finances and the rest, but it does not have the political
gravitas.
Yeah, to galvanize, to put together is technocratic policies and what have you. How is he really going to combine that without being a politician?
Okay. Well, the truth of the matter is this. Governor Emefiele cannot do it on his own, basically. I mean, he's not a big politician, just like you've said. But we've identified in him those qualities that will make him to be a good president. And so that's why we are calling upon him to declare his intention, and then we can then also rally around those politicians with weight to say, you know what, we want you to help and assist in supporting this person to get to the position. And we think it's doable. We think it's doable. I mean, there are quite a lot of other leaders in Nigeria in the past that they were not established politicians, and then but they were able to ride on the back of some established politicians to get into power, and we saw the wonders. So
do we have established politicians who are actually backing the CBN governor for this clamor, really, for him to become the next president of Nigeria?
I really do not know now, but on our own movement, what we are doing now is we are calling on him to say he wants to run, to call on him to declare his intention to join the race. And then when he joins the race, then we can then begin to see how we can, reach out to some of those politicians that will assist us to achieve our aim.
Even in the midst of the, controversy over the judgment from Umuahia just about 48 hours ago about Section 84, subsection 12, he just could be caught in that web.
No, the judgment has been declared unconstitutional. I mean, the section of that law has been declared unconstitutional. There's nothing constitutional about that law. I'm a lawyer and I've been doing this for over a decade. You cannot take by...
It is a judgment,
yes, so you cannot take by an act of the National Assembly away rights that have been enshrined and granted by the Constitution. You cannot.
Well, at the end of the day, judgment has been ruled out. So it's up to the National Assembly or INEC or whoever to go out there and challenge it. But at the end of the day,
there's no way they can challenge this. It will be absurd. It will be absurd to challenge that judgment because that's the right judgment. Look, the Constitution is clear on qualification and disqualification of candidates. The provision is exhaustive in the Constitution. And so if the Constitution, for example, the position of the President, Section 131 gives me, state the qualification to contest for the office of the President. As Section 137 talks about the disqualification to contest for the office of the President. It's exhaustive. So the National Assembly cannot now, by an act of Parliament, then create additional conditions. That's not the law.
Well, I do know that the coming weeks will be very interesting in terms of the lawyers trying to upturn or even challenge this. But at the end of the day, one wonders, Emefiele, like we've all established here, the fact that he was appointed by a PDP administration, eventually got reappointed by an APC. So one wonders, what party should he be considering to really vie for this highest office? And does it really matter to your group, really, what party he decides to actually run, if he eventually decides to run?
We want him to run under the ruling APC. And the reason for that is this. We see, and which is what one of the things we've been telling our people, that Godwin Emefiele, this is our own view, there is nobody in this government so far that has supported the program of Mr. President more than Godwin Emefiele. And so we think that he also deserves the support of the presidency on this quest. I mean, look at the issue of diversification of the economy. Look at what is happening in the agricultural sector. You know, so through the various interventionist program of the CBN, as granted or as permitted by the CBN amended act, the one has been, you know, assisting and, you know, the president to achieve all his diversification aim and efforts to turn around the Nigerian economy. So we think that that gesture should also be returned. You know, the presidency should support him when he decides that he wants to, you know, run, because at the end of the day, some of the achievements of this administration, we really hope that we get somebody that we consolidate.
Wale Fapohunda, he is the convener of the Green Alliance movement. We'd have to say thank you so much for joining us tonight on the program. I will wait and see, really, Christian. Yeah. It's going to be an interesting couple of months, really.
Absolutely. But beginning with the convention on Saturday, which we'll be covering live.